Hey, YouTube family, this is Micah here as the voice to the nations. I just wanted to stop by really quickly because I had a dream, and in the dream, God wanted to send a message to his people. Just a reminder that you have spiritual backup. I wrote down my notes, so that's what I'm looking at. You have spiritual backup. And in my notes, it simply says, don't be afraid. God is saying the attack is real, but you will not be overtaken if you worship and praise me. You have exhausted everything you are able to do. The Spirit of the living God is saying now you need to war in the spirit realm. Turn on your worship music if that's what you need to do. And the example of that is David, when David was called in for Saul. And Saul was being basically tormented by these demonic spirits. And David came in with, I believe it was his lyre, his instrument, and he started playing his music. He just started playing his music, and he started driving out those demonic forces. Same thing. If you need to find you some worship music, you have your favorite worship music, turn on your worship music and let it settle your spirit. Let it drive away those demonic spirits that's coming to attack you or whatever have you. And in that, then you start worshiping and praising our God, our Creator, our Father, the one true, wise, and living God. So if that's one means that you need to use to drive out those, the attack of the enemy, to help you to get into spiritual warfare, or you can simply go straight into exalting the name of God, our Father, our Creator. You can do that. But whatever you do, run to my presence and I'll war on your behalf. That's what the Spirit of the living God says. He said that's the strategy on today. If you're being attacked, you're being overwhelmed, you're confused, you're just feeling stressed out, you're just feeling like everything is just coming down on your mind is everywhere. You're just feeling weighed down, oppressed. You can't get it together. It is a spiritual attack. And so with the spiritual attacks, you have to go into spiritual warfare. So what you need to do is turn on some worship music. Turn on the worship music. Someone who you know is qualified to go into worship and to war in the spirit realm. I love a CC Winans, I love a CC Winans. So whatever your favorite worship music is, and let that usher you into the presence of the living God, where you start worshiping and praising him and lifting his name on high. So that's one means, or you can go straight into the presence of the Father. Hallelujah. By exalting his name, telling him who he is. Hallelujah. Who he is, what he's done for you on your behalf, how he's won the wars and the victories. Tell him about the testimonies that he already know, but you lifting up his name. That's a way to go into the presence of the living God. And this is going to allow you to have a spiritual breakthrough. It's going to cause that spiritual fight that the enemy is doing to back up off of you so you can get into the presence of the Father. And once you run into the presence of the Father, he said, I'll take over from there. He said, I'll war in the spirit and I'll flip this thing. So that's the tactic that I want to share with you on today. Hallelujah, that he gave me the dream. And so from the dream, I wrote down the notes, and from the notes, I'm sharing it with you. Go into worship. Whatever means that you use, go into worship. And when you go into worship and get into the presence of God, he said, I'm going to step in and I'll take it from there. That's the kind of God we serve. He's a wonderful Father. Hallelujah. Get into worship. Get into his presence. From there, he's about to flip this thing on your behalf. God bless you. Once again, this is Micah, the voice to the nations. I pray nothing but the best of blessings on top of blessings for you today and every day. Love you much.